this code right here, this whole place right here, this is just a air check for ourselves. Okay, so so basically, if we get lazy and we don't drag the weapon camera on the actual weapon object, like just go, bang, bang, that's it. If we don't do that, it'll actually do it for us. So it's kind of a lazy way out, but it makes it air when you it just makes it so we life easier for us. Make sure we don't mess up. And this is the takeout, but this script is very prototypey right now. So, but like I said, we need this function right here to just directly change the integer that changes our weapon. So that's pretty much how we can easily select what weapon we want for a button. So you can have a pause menu and be like, I want this one. And it changes. Like, oh, I'm about to die. I need to change my weapon. But you're like paused and you're like, man, this is going to really suck. What weapon do I got that's got ammo? Well, this one does. Bam. Or maybe yeah, I want this one. That's a rocket launcher. Or a really heavy machine gun. And I thought it was interesting, so it'll expose us to a little bit of the UI. And some games actually have it where there's a little button or a little drop down, see what weapon you got. You can put an image in here with what weapon you have, or just have it spawn. My goal is actually just to take this, put it into a variable for your weapon, and just spawn it in. Bam. Just spawn it in. Who cares? And then have it parent into this. So each weapon that you actually have, you don't even have to like manually do this. It'll be done by a prefab that's already in the weapon object. So like that serializable big old object that we have for assets, it's going to get a new object put to it. It's a game object, and it'll do, like, hey, this is a glove or whatever here. And then we just write code in here for it. It could also be a scope. That would be a very good thing. Hey, game object, instantiate, and then we cache it by, hey, this is the spawn scope. What local position do we got? Parent or any such thing. And we would just write it here directly in a vector 3 or quaternion. It's not hard science. But I wanted to give you guys something different so you can be like, oh, I don't really like that I can hit Q. And you can change this up too, because this is really simple. This is only listening for an on click. You can actually change the script that's actually doing this and be like, it'd be this one. You can put an update in here and be like, hey, guess what? You can go, let's see, if input dot get key down, and then it'll do a key. Now, well, you just basically put the input, and then you'll be like, there would be your inputs, and then whatever button that goes right here, like whatever you decide, get button down 1, 2, 3, or whatever, you go weapon, and then it requires an integer. Hey, guess what? We want 1 because this is button 1. Bam. And that's all you'd have to do. You don't even have to care about the rest. So instead of just pushing this button, you can push 1 and it would execute because it would just be like our input system, our abstract input. It would just execute code just like this. You're just calling a function, and this would be your input. Like input get button down, blah blah blah. Very easy. Basically the same thing that we're doing right here. Instead of calling, well, you could put base dot weapon something. I don't know. It's just a basic input. You can write it directly right here. I mean, I don't make use of the 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way to 9. I mean, you can put it, hey, let's do it on the enter key. It doesn't care. It just cares what's executed right here. This is just a get button down or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it would be very easy to modify and do this code. You don't even have, yeah, you actually do have to have, now, you actually have, if you're having problems with it, okay, executing this code from a button, the problem is because of the way the canvas works and everything, you have to have it public. And you don't have to have a parameter like this, but it's really nice if you use some call it parameter, some call it overloads, some may even call it how can I put this? A lambda. You could do a lot with this. I mean, it's really easy. I might actually change some of my input system and things to use this in my multiplayer game on my own, because it's really nice. And two, you can have this instantiated weapon and parent it to your guy, like so. I mean, instead of dragging it on here, you can go, hey, I want this weapon. Bam. Spawned, done all the stuff, there you go. You can do a lot with that. But remember, this has to be a public void and things. It has to be public to be able to be accessed from another script, which the actual buttons that Unity uses for a canvas is actually it's a different kind of script, so it needs access. But if you really want to know the easy way to get and it has to have this event system here, because it's the buttons and everything are all driven by events. But if you want to create a canvas and stuff and play around with it, go to UI, put a panel down first. Don't put a button or a text or anything on it. Put a panel, because it gives you everything that you need right off the bat. And the easiest way to work with this in Unity, the actual canvas, which is this huge, ridiculous thing right here. I don't know why it's like that, but you see this little 2D thing? Hit it, and it'll make your screen really easy to work with. And it's just like a regular game object, so it's, the placement, it looks different, but it's pretty much the same. It's not hard, and there's plenty of good tutorials out there that I don't see the point in doing more, because it would just be over redundant. And two, Unity has really good ones on their site for this. But this is all I wanted to show you guys today, and take care, like, subscribe, the whole YouTube thing. So, and if you guys are more interested in some type of different weapon change, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you didn't understand something, because that's the whole point of me explaining it. So take care, and see you in the next few days. Bye bye, and have a good one.